Throughout human history, there have been countless moments where individuals or entire societies abandoned their critical thinking and simply obeyed others, often with disastrous consequences. These stories serve as powerful reminders of the dangers of blind obedience. In this video, we'll explore real-world examples to understand how and why this happens and what you can do to prevent it in your own life. 1. The Stanford Prison Experiment, 1971. In one of psychology's most infamous studies, participants were randomly assigned to be either prisoners or guards in a simulated prison environment. The experiment spiraled out of control within days. The guards became increasingly authoritarian and abusive, while the prisoners largely submitted to their roles, even though both groups knew it was just an experiment. What happened? 1. The participants quickly internalized their roles, leading to psychological trauma and unethical behavior. 2. Critical thinking was abandoned as both prisoners and guards conformed to expectations placed upon them. Lesson: social roles and authority can influence people to act against their own values unless they actively question those roles. 2. The Milgram Experiment, 1961. Psychologist Stanley Milgram wanted to understand how ordinary people could commit atrocities under authority. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to a learner, an actor, whenever they answered questions incorrectly. Despite hearing the learner's screams, most participants continued administering shocks when ordered to do so by the experimenter. What happened? 1. 65% of participants obeyed instructions to the point of delivering potentially lethal shocks. 2. Many participants justified their actions by deferring responsibility to the authority figure. Lesson: authority figures can override people's moral judgment if critical thinking is not actively engaged. 3. Nazi Germany and the rise of totalitarianism. One of history's most tragic examples of mass obedience occurred under Adolf Hitler's regime. Through propaganda, fear, and systemic manipulation, millions of people participated in or enabled atrocities, often without questioning the morality of their actions. What happened? 1. Propaganda reinforced a single narrative, discouraging dissent. 2. Citizens accepted harsh realities such as persecution and genocide by rationalizing them through ideology and obedience. Lesson: unchecked obedience to authoritarian regimes can lead to atrocities. Societies must encourage dissent, critical debate, and independent thought to prevent such horrors. 4. The Jonestown Massacre, 1978. Jim Jones, the leader of the People's Temple cult, convinced over 900 of his followers to commit mass suicide in Jonestown, Guyana. Under intense social pressure and emotional manipulation, many followers gave up their critical thinking and trusted Jones's distorted reality. What happened? 1. Followers were isolated from the outside world and subjected to constant indoctrination. 2. When Jones ordered the mass suicide, many complied out of fear and blind loyalty. Lesson: isolation and manipulation can erode critical thinking. Cults thrive on cutting people off from alternative perspectives. 5. Corporate scandals, Enron and groupthink. At the height of its success, Enron was one of the most admired companies in the world. However, internal corruption and unethical business practices led to one of the largest corporate collapses in history. Employees and executives ignored obvious red flags due to a culture of groupthink, where dissenting opinions were suppressed. What happened? 1. Employees and investors continued to trust leadership despite evidence of fraud. 2. Many feared speaking out due to social and career pressures. Lesson: critical thinking is vital in organizational settings to prevent groupthink and unethical behavior. 6. The COVID-19 infodemic. During the COVID-19 pandemic, misinformation spread rapidly, leading to widespread fear, confusion, and poor decision-making. Many people followed unverified claims from influencers or conspiracy theorists instead of consulting reliable experts and scientific evidence. What happened? 1. Some individuals refused life-saving measures like vaccines or masks based on misinformation. 2. Herd behavior amplified the spread of false narratives. Lesson: in a digital age, critical thinking is essential to distinguish between credible information and misinformation. 7. The financial bubble crashes. Financial bubbles, such as the 2008 housing market crash, occur when people blindly follow market trends without questioning their sustainability. Investors, banks, and home buyers failed to critically assess risks, leading to catastrophic losses. What happened? 1. Speculative behavior inflated asset values beyond reasonable limits. 2. Widespread trust in flawed financial models caused a global recession. Lesson: mass financial decisions based on hype rather than analysis can have devastating consequences. Conclusion: these real-world examples demonstrate how easily humans can give up their critical thinking skills and obey harmful systems or individuals. However, by understanding these lessons, you can become more aware of the pressures that erode independent thought. Stay vigilant, question authority, and seek out diverse perspectives to protect yourself from manipulation. Have you encountered situations where you felt pressured to give up your critical thinking? Share your stories in the comments. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on critical thinking, human psychology, and personal growth.